What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that news analysis on something that's been brewing and something that has been catching a little fire of lately. And it's about a player that I didn't talk about too much this year because he was in college, and it's Ace Bailey. For what I've been hearing and for what I've been able to gather up is that his stock is dropping a little bit because he's not doing a lot of workouts and he's not going to teams and showing them what he can really do. Um, they saying that his workout strategy wasn't very wise and how he chose to go about it, and he has some questions that he hasn't really answered. So teams are thinking, should they draft Ace Bailey, which is something that people didn't really think would even be a question because he looked like a lock at number 3 behind Cooper Flag and his teammate Dilla Harper at Rutgers. But it ended up being something that's legit now. People don't think that he's worth picking. He seems like he wants the superstar treatment. He seems like he's carrying himself that way. If I can't become the player that I think I should become in this league, then I'm not really in a rush to be drafted. Sometimes that does burn you because you basically want to get into the NBA and figure everything out as you continue to grow, especially if you stay healthy. Um, Now they're saying that VJ Edgecombe is not might be number 3, and he was mainly going number 4, and obviously number 5, I believe, was Jeremiah Fears for a lot of people with draft boards. And those guys was behind Ace Bailey because Ace Bailey had high potential, as I just stated. Like the guy has the length, he has the size, he has the touch. It just he hasn't been really great at shooting threes, but he has the ability to do it. And if he takes it more serious, which is the whole purpose of the NBA, he should be able to grow into a guy that can be a 20 plus point scorer and have the ability to still use that length and that size as a defensive weapon too, if he able to develop that side of the basketball court game very well. And on top of that, he can still be a decent playmaker and a guy that can also be, a big part of your offense like superstar supposed to be. And it's crazy because the guy is only 18 years old. He's going to be 19, obviously, but that's still very, very young for the skills that he has already. And it's crazy that teams are already just thinking, like, because he doesn't want to do this or he feels a specific way, like he's not supposed to, that he should be looked down upon, or they should not look at him the same way that they did before. But the guy can hoop, the guy can play, the guy is a baller. I love what I was seeing in his draft combine, just having the handles, having the speed and the quickness in his release, having the speed to be able to use that length to gallop to the rim, get layups, get dunks, beat his opponent to where they need him to be able to stop and contest and put length and size up on him. He can sneak past that a little bit too. And I think that this guy can play off the ball real good. He can cut and get lobs, get dunks, get in the dunker spot and finish. The guy can get to the free throw line. He needs to improve that a little bit more. But like I said, we're talking about an 18, 19-year-old. This guy doesn't have it all figured out. His body is not all the way filled out. His body is not even done growing yet. So, I think that a lot of people are going to be interested in seeing what he can be and what he can do. But I just feel like it's crazy that you just because he feels like he's going to be great in this league and he's going to be able to dominate this league, you're going to down the player. You're going to go down and say that he shouldn't be drafted higher, or you're not interested. And that's the thing about Philly. Philly has so many wings with Paul George, Jared McCain, and Quentin Grimes and guys like that that's already on their roster. I can see why they will want to trade down and pick somebody else and still let somebody else select Ace Bailey at number 3. But I still look at it like, what more can you get? Because VJ Edgecombe is a project too. Yeah, he can shoot a 3. Yes, he can get to the basket, but Ace Bailey can do those things 2 times over already, more better than VJ Edgecombe or even a Jeremiah Fears. Because I like Jeremiah Fears. I like his size. I like his scoring ability. I like his playmaking ability, but he doesn't have the upside, and he's not a better player to me right now, even compared to Ace Bailey. So, like, is it really even worth getting other guys that has less potential than somebody like Ace Bailey? And I feel like if you're trying to move up in that draft, you're trying to get somebody that can change your franchise for the better, that can give you a higher trajectory and can, make you, a playoff team again eventually. But Ace Bailey just showed in college that where he is right now in his career, he's not going to help you win right away. And you have to understand that. So that's what I'm saying. If you get with a Joel Embiid, a Paul George, and a Tyrese Maxey, you don't really have to do as much as you will probably want to prove that you can be able to be a good scorer in this league. But you have less of the burden on your back, and you have less of the negativity too, because that's something that you don't hear. People say, you know what, Quinn, at the end of the day, I think he's going to go to Washington. A lot of people saying that the Wizards are really interested in getting a guy like Ace Bailey and picking him up and having him develop alongside Jordan Poole and Alexandre Sarr and those guys. But Ace Bailey has become a polarizing prospect among a lot of NBA executives with questions about his preparation and feel for creating a wider draft range than initially anticipated for the 18-year-old out of Rutgers. Sources told a lot of people, including me, feedbacks during the interviews at the draft combine in Chicago. Teams they expressed concerns about his lack of preparation and focus during the evaluation process. Usually, when you're a highly touted player, you look at things differently. You go about things differently. You don't think people are going to weigh things too heavy or think, things too clearly on you either. People are paying more attention because they don't want to get the pick wrong. They don't want to get things that can actually to drive you away from a player that has so much potential, because that's the whole purpose of the draft, is trying to find somebody that can help you in the future and still try to find a way to show you what they can do now. The promise and the potential is always something that hurts even the best scouts, because they always look at that first. They always try to see that. And then they realize the player may never reach it. They may never get a jump shot. They may never get strong enough. They maybe can't even get enough shot creation. And that's my whole thing. If you can get somebody that can handle the ball and get their own shot at a decent field goal percentage, even if they got to be high volume, that's something that you should definitely try to take and something you should try to get, because that's the whole purpose of the NBA. Either you creating shots for yourself or you creating shots for others. That's what you have to have in the back of your mind if you want to be great at this game. Because if you can do both, create shots and for others, which he has shown in college and high school, then you have a guy that has superstar potential, because the scoring will come based off how they read and react to the players in front of them, or what the defense is trying to do to them, or try to force them to do and make them feel uncomfortable. As long as he's understanding his game, understanding how to get his shot, he's going to be hood. In another way, he's going to be good in this league. So I am kind of concerned about how his workouts and how he felt, how he's supposed to tackle those. You can't have that mentality that you made it already, you done did it already. You got to keep putting the work in, keep on grinding, because that is something that you're going to have to do if you want to be great at this game. And it never really stops until you decide to retire, or you don't get no more contracts, and then you're forced to be out of the league, and you don't want to have that happen to you, especially when your goal was to make it to the NBA. And you should have every desire to continue that since you're almost there. But the highly touted prospect has lost momentum for the Philadelphia 76ers, like I just brought up. The number 3 pick, after initially refusing to visit their franchise, Bailey was reportedly unsatisfied with the search for a proven pathway to development. He didn't like it. He didn't see Philly being a legitimate team for him to really want to go to, especially when he sees all those guys that got to eat down there in Philly, and that is a veteran team, and they're going to want to win right away. And if you get in that way, you're going to be benched, or you don't help them win games. They're going to feel there's no purpose of even playing you that much. And that is true, and that is something you have to have in the back of your head when you're going to a team that's already having a good enough roster to make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. You do have to think that I'm not going to really have enough chances to really make an impact on this team, because they already have players that's better than me, or players that can help them better than I can right now. And I'm just going to be riding the bench for the majority of my rookie season. I'm not really going to get that much playing time, or really that much development time, maybe because of that reason. So I can see, and I thought Philly should trade that pick before they even thought about taking Ace Bailey at 3, because they just trying to find a way to get the roster as good as they can get. And most rookies can't really help you win unless it's a Cooper Flag or a Dylan Harper. But even that, they already had Jared McCain and guys like Quentin Grimes, like I said before, that can even play those positions already, and they can do it better than Dylan Harper. So he wouldn't even be a good pickup right here either, in my personal opinion, because of the depth of the Sixers, and they still have a lot of veterans too. But Bailey's pre-draft workout strategy has perplexed observers throughout the league, the prospect has declined to also conduct a single known workout to date. He turned down invitations to and from several teams within his projected draft range. He don't even want to go to those teams or try out. He just feel like he should be able to get a spot because of his talent and because of what he can bring to the table right now. They even said sources indicate that Bailey's camp has informed interest to teams that they believe he is a top 3 player in the draft. However, they also seeking a clear pathway to stardom. If you're not even giving this man what he wants or even a role that he wants, he's not even feeling you. He don't even want to have none of your time, which is crazy because he's not even in the league yet, and he's already feeling that way and already handling his business and conducting himself that way, and so is the team around him. Wow. Talk about a guy that felt like he made it already. He said, I'm a consensus top 3 player in this draft. I'm one of the best players you can get. If you don't respect that, I don't even want to give you time. Even if you can pay me, even if you can give me a spot in the NBA, I'm not going to a team that you feel like you have to bring me along slowly or not let me play a lot of minutes or not let me become the star of the franchise. If you're not giving me that type of opportunity, I don't even want to be on your roster, even if I have to get drafted later in the draft. That's crazy that somebody would actually feel that way and say it that way. Although a lot of people do feel that way when they are younger and in a situation, they just don't conduct themselves this way. Potentially feeling comfortable that a team would trade up to select them. He's not even worried about somebody, not feeling them. He just feel that somebody gonna take him at number 3 regardless because he's better than the other competition that they have there on draft day, which is, like I said, Jeremiah Fears and Con Knipple and guys like BJ Edgecombe. Some teams, whether Bailey has received assurances from a franchise currently outside the top 5 picks, the situation could provide more advantageous circumstances from geographic and playing time perspective. So somebody already probably let them know that we'll take you. You're the guy for us, and we'll move up if it's needed to get you. And that's good to have that insurance, because if you don't have that type of insurance, you're making a big mistake going about it this way. Bailey is scheduled to work out for the Sixers later this week, though it remains unclear if he plans to visit other teams. Some say Philadelphia should pass on Bailey. He could slide to the 6 or the 7 overall selection. Like I said, this is real news that he can drop in this draft below 3, especially the way he talking, the way his team talking, like he's the best player in his draft is what they basically saying. If you ain't getting me, then you're out of luck. And if you feel that way, you got to back that up. You got to prove that to me. You got to show me that you really as good as you feel, because you didn't really do that in college. You was a great player, but you wasn't one of the best of the best. Like I said, there's some other guys that's on your butt a little bit, and they're putting in extra work, and you sitting there trying to figure out how to get to a team that may want you or may not want you. And then you go into a team that already showed you that you might not have a path to start on. So that might not be a fit for you there. And then you might lose even some salary moving down in the draft, because the lower you're drafted, the less your salary is going to be from the NBA contract. And your position might be, you can go to a team that can make the playoffs. You might go to a team that's rebuilding. Even though you might put up numbers, they can be a little empty if you're not winning. But like I said, the Washington Wizards and the New Orleans Pelicans are reportedly highly intrigued with Bailey's talent, despite the concerns. Both franchise offer substantial playing opportunities and available shots for a developing prospect in Ace Bailey. And a lot of people say he might go to the Pelicans or the Wizards if it doesn't work out for him in Philadelphia. That's legit. That is something that people are talking about. That is something that people are confirming. So I'm looking at it like, man, like this man talking like he made it already. He talking like he done did everything he can do to be the best player in this draft, and people don't even look at him that way. But it just shows you how, if you put in the work and you get like everybody recruiting you, that you do have to pick the right spot for you too. You do have to pick the right feelings that you have too, because you're human. You're not just a basketball player and that's it. That's just your job. That's just your profession. So we have to have in the back of our mind that he just feeling like, if I'm not the player that I want to be and I can't be the player that I want to be, ain't no point in playing in the league at that team, with that particular team. So if you feeling that strong that you can be a star, you can be a superstar. He's saying aim for the moon, man. Go for the moon, not the sun. Go for the moon, not Jupiter, not Saturn, not Pluto. It's too far from Earth. I'm going to stay in that range. And if I'm in that range and the team can really pick me up, I can really show that y'all didn't regret it. I can really show y'all that this is the right pick for y'all to make. That's all I'm going to try to do. And like I said, no workouts. I mean, dang, like, dude, it really is locked up in his head on that. So I'm going to really be watching this. I'm going to be monitoring it, the next 2 weeks as the draft gets closer and is almost here. Actually, really next week. And that's going to be fun and entertaining to see where this man goes and what he's going to try to do. I don't have nothing negative to say about the guy besides you gotta have to watch that a little bit because you didn't get drafted yet. You didn't really make it yet. You're just close to doing that. So you don't really want to get too comfortable and too demanding because you'll find yourself out of the league, especially if you don't play up to your standards. Now, you did it enough in college, you did enough in high school. The NBA is a totally different level. This is your job, this is your livelihood. You have to put in work every single day. You have to take it serious every single day. You have to push yourself to do more every single day if you want to be one of the best players in this world. If you want to be one of the greatest in this world, it's one of the toughest things to do because they're already doing it and their body's already developed, and you have to play catch up to that. Then you have to play the pass up game. And we've seen some guys be able to do it. We've seen some guys not be able to do it. And that's something we felt the same thing about a guy like Brandon Ingram. He should be the next Kevin Durant. He should be the next great scorer. He should be the next great player. Yeah, he made it to the All-Star team. Yeah, he made it to the Most Improved award, but he never became a superstar. He became an All-Star. He never became that superstar. And will he have that comp? I see a lot of people looking at him like he's long, he's lanky, he can shoot a little bit. But a lot of the time, that's not turning into superstars in this league. It's turning into guys that can get points, guys that can be good hubs of offense, but that's a number 3. Like, will he even be a number 2 in this league? I would say he wasn't even a number 1 in college. It was really Dylan Harper getting buckets and doing his thing and setting him up for easy opportunities. If you need all that, is you really as good as you saying, or you really just a great complementary player that can do multiple things on the court? That can still be a number 2, and number 2s can still be superstars, depending on who they playing, depending on their role, and depending on how much they're winning. I will give him that, but it didn't really happen in college. They didn't even make it that far, and they didn't really have that much success. So, maybe you have a better supporting cast and you have a better star player that fits you and ends up working out. But if not, I'm looking at it like, man, you kind of got your head up to the sky right now. You're feeling yourself a little bit too much right now. And we going to see if he can become the player that he wants to be in this world. And all I can say is I'm waiting for it. I can't wait to watch. I'm going to be following him in summer league. I'm going to be following him in preseason. Hopefully he can stay healthy during the regular season. And we're going to see, will he be a double-digit scorer? Will he be a bench scorer? Or will he be a guy that can take over games and lead teams to a lot of success in the future? He's a rookie and his team is going to most likely be young and not really able to win right away either. So we have to give him some time to back up his words and back up his stances. And he's already starting that early, and he's not even in the NBA yet. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. And if you're new to the channel, I do conversation videos just like this about various NBA-only topics. I also do breakdowns of real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, all the future stars. I also do my draft and draft coverage too. So you love that type of content, this is the channel for you. And I promise you that, because I got over 3,000 plus videos already on my channel that you can watch and enjoy. Plus I upload videos every single day that I'm living. So look at it as a form of entertainment, especially if you're an NBA basketball fan. This is the channel you don't want to miss out on. You definitely want to be a fan of. And everybody would basically say that, and I don't really have to vouch that much for myself because the rest of the talk when you watch it and check it out. Other than that, hope you guys enjoying y'all day. Hope you guys enjoyed y'all weekend. Thank y'all for continuing to come back. Thank y'all for continuing to make time for your boy, Quinn Wade. Thank y'all for continuing to come back to the channel and check out whatever you want to check out, even if it's the newest video. Thanks for the past support, the present support, and also if you're going to support the channel in the future, I want to thank y'all in advance, and thank y'all for appreciating the content for what it is and enjoying the content that I make continuously throughout this whole adventure of Analysis Playground / Basketball Analysis Podcast. And that support is the reason why this channel is around 10 plus years later. And that's a 50-50 reason why, because y'all enjoy watching the videos that I make, and I enjoy making the videos for y'all. And that's a big reason why this channel has been successful for so long. And let's continue to try to make 25 a better year than 2015. That was a big year for this channel. It really grew and really made this channel what it is. And I took a lot of those things that y'all loved that year and made it into bigger and more expansive things. And I'm doing all the work by myself, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm loving it, and it's fun. So let's continue to have this ride. We've been good the first 6 months of this year. Let's be good the next 6 months and try to pass up 2015. We already there. We've been more consistent, putting out a lot more content, having a lot more fun, and putting out a lot of classic videos that you guys are enjoying. So all I can say is that's the whole purpose of the channel in the first place. So let's keep it going as long as we can and go into the next year with the same mentality, and let's end it with the same mentality. But I need y'all to continue to do y'all part. And since y'all usually do that, I don't really have to ask y'all for much. And that's all I can say. Y'all the best fans that somebody can ask for. Y'all the best in the world. So I'm glad that y'all riding with me. Other than that, I'm going for now. See y'all hopefully tomorrow with more analysis. You know, I got to give y'all something to watch and something to enjoy. And that's what I love doing. You know, I got to hold down Analysis Playground to the fullest. And I'm really blessed to have my own brand and my own identity and my own content, my own style that I created and made myself, owned it, loved it, and made it into something y'all love and enjoy too. Other than that, I'm gone. See y'all later. Peace out. Y'all stay blessed up. Woo, man.